What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports and the Phillies. My God, through all the emotions, they find a way to shut out the Atlanta Braves and win this game by a score of 1-0. The pitching tonight was absolutely dominant. Ranger Suarez was fantastic in his 6 innings of work. Zack Eflin was insanely sharp pitching an inning and 2/3. And then Jose Alvarado, just all the emotion in the world, getting the 4-out save to help this Phillies win a huge series. They'll get a first win in this huge 4-game set against the Atlanta Braves. And it's also huge because the Milwaukee Brewers won earlier tonight against the Cincinnati Reds. So now they are still 2.5 games back of you in the wild card standings, which is incredibly huge. The only run comes tonight. Gene Segura get on base. JT seeing the ball where it's hit, making a good base running decision to get over the third base on the Gene Segura single. And then you also see that Matt Vierling continues to dominate. He has been absolutely fantastic. Like, my goodness, Matt Vierling. Sack fly. 1-0 Phillies lead, and that is the only run of the ball game. The Phillies did have a plethora of chances throughout this ball game. Do not get me wrong. A lot of chances to bring some runs home, and they did absolutely none of that. Same thing with the Braves, though. The Braves had a lot of chances to score, too, and they didn't come up at all. Umpiring tonight, god-awful. I'll get into that, too. Kevin Long gets tossed from this game because of the terrible umpiring, and there were many bad calls throughout the entire night. I have a lot of things to say about this damn umpiring crew. My God, they were terrible. I'm trying to find the major names for these guys just because it was just flat out terrible. Seriously, how, like, in the world? My God, I need to see, like, what are these guys' names? Andy Fletcher, the home plate umpire. Yeah, Andy Fletcher. Like, what the fuck do you think you are, dude? Yeah, I came to watch a baseball game to watch you. I came to watch the 4 men in the black suits, the black jerseys that are controlling the game. Yeah, I came to watch you. That's where I get all my entertainment from. No, absolutely brutal. But the Phillies still found a way to win this game. Umpiring was terrible. Pitching was absolutely dominant. The Braves pitching was dominant too, don't get me wrong there, but the Phillies also did have a lot of chances to score. But we overcame that. We found a way to win. Our pitching was fantastic. Fantastic all around. What more is there to say? It was a great win. Overall, great win. It was a great win. Basically all it sums up to. Matt Vierling, sack fly. Ranger Suarez was just really great out on the mound today. This was, Ranger Suarez from, like right at the beginning to post the All-Star break for those like 3 or 4 starts to where he was really good. Like, this was also last year's Ranger Suarez. He was 6 innings pitched in his game, 5 hits allowed, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 83 pitches. You could kind of tell in that 6th inning he was probably getting a little gas to where his command was getting all over the place. I think it was a great decision by Rob Thompson to, take him out of the ball game. He left, leaving the bases loaded, stranded in that 6th inning. Zack Eflin comes in. He only needed 6 pitches in the 7th inning. There 3 outs. And then he looked very sharp in the next inning as well, getting 2 outs before Alvarado came in. He struck out 3 in an inning and 2/3 on 15 pitches. If Zack Eflin can come out like that in the bullpen, my goodness, that is a huge help for this bullpen. That is a huge help. And Rob Thompson made the right decision to keep Alvarado in there. I was going to scream if he took out Alvarado at 1 pitch. I saw Robertson warming up in the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm like, Rob, you better not be bringing out David Robertson when Alvarado only threw 1 pitch. Like, give the guy a chance. And thankfully, Rob didn't do that. He gave Alvarado a chance. Didn't bring in Robertson is what I meant. He gave Alvarado the chance to get the save. And Alvarado did the job. Thank God. All that energy on that final strikeout call. Maybe he got a little away with the second strike, but the umpires have been brutal all night. Then the high cheese, swing and miss, energy coming off of the mound for the win. The broadcast group was also terrible tonight. I'm usually a Kenny Albert guy, specifically for the National Hockey League, because I think he does a good NHL broadcast. I don't know, him and AJ Brzezinski, my God. Like a lot of things were brutal. The camera angles were brutal. The umpires were brutal. The broadcast was brutal. Offense was brutal. We also got to credit the Braves pitching too, but I would like more runs. Like seriously, it's gotten so bad for Bryce Harper to where he's using Matt Vierling's bat. It's gotten to that point where he thinks Matt Vierling's bat is the thing that'll unlock his swing, and it didn't work. It absolutely didn't work. My God, Bryce is going through a huge slump. It's unreal. It's really unreal at this point. He's not above criticism. He isn't. He definitely isn't. And there's definitely a lot of people that said, "Oh, but I'd hate to do this to Bryce." I hate to do this to Bryce, but like I don't want to criticize Bryce. But no, Bryce deserves all the criticism in the world. Bryce deserves all the criticism in the world right now because he is not playing up to expectations at all. He just isn't. Also, the wind in this game kind of helped the Phillies out too. It also hurt the Phillies because Schwarber probably got robbed of a home run because of the wind, but it also took a home run away from the Braves. Ozuna got into one, died right at the wall because of the wind blowing in. Honestly, thinking of the weather today, the weather kind of felt like October baseball. It was like in the low 60s. It's currently in the low 60s. It's going to be like 60-something tomorrow, going down into the 40s and 50s. It's going to, chilly the next couple of days. Feeling like October baseball. Tonight definitely felt like it. It was entertaining. It definitely was. Not from the umpire standpoint, though. The umpires were brutal. Brutal. Seriously. A pitch to Dalton Guthrie that is yay low. Down to the pits of the center of the earth. Gets called a strike. And we're just like, bro. How is that a strike? How? How in God's name? In God's name is that a strike? I want to know. I want to know. How in the world is that a strike? Kevin Long thought so. You can even see him lipping off there as he got tossed from the game during the Kyle Schwarber at bat. Don't worry about what the guys in the dugout are saying. Go fuck yourself. I think that's what he said. My God. My God. And also Rhys Hoskins during one of his at-bats. There's also something with Rhys here. This was with, a couple of runners on. This is when Guthrie got on before, the whole situation where he got a strike called on a ball. So Guthrie got on with a single. Schwarber got on, I believe he walked. And Rhys Hoskins comes up, 0 outs, 2 runners on base, a chance to possibly load the bases or drive a second run in. Rhys is in the mode right now where he is not looking to swing the bat, drive the ball, do anything whatsoever. He is looking for walks. And that is the Rhys Hoskins I despise. That is the Rhys Hoskins I despise, where he's looking for walks. He's not looking to swing the bat. He's not fighting off pitches. He's looking at pitches right down the middle of the plate. He's looking to walk. That is the Rhys Hoskins I absolutely despise. I love the Rhys Hoskins who is a threat to drive the ball, put the ball in the gap, even though he did get a double in this game. But in that situation, Rhys, get on base. It's all nice and dandy. Bases loaded, 0 outs. I need you to drive in a run there, buddy. You had a nice couple of pitches to hit during that at bat. You got lucky on the ball 3 call. Yeah, the strike 3 call was kind of questionable as well, but still, you can't be looking on that close of a pitch. You just cannot. You cannot. I hate that. I hate that version of Rhys Hoskins. I hate it so much, where he's looking to just walk. That is it. It's annoying. It really is annoying. Like, I know I shouldn't be harping on negatives because you did the win, but the offense did slump in this game. Like, your lone run was in the second inning on a Matt Vierling sac fly. Like, Matt Vierling has been your lone run producer in the past couple of games. Like, that's bad. That is bad. But all the credit in the world to Matt Vierling. Like, his bat's hot right now. Like, seriously, it's the daycare. Daycare is saving your goddamn asses. Like I said, the pitching was dominant in this game, though. Pitching was elite. Ranger was great. Eflin was great. Alvarado was great. Everything there. Everything on the pitching standpoint was great. Batting, though, if we look at that, Kyle Schwarber goes over 3 with a walk, 2 strikeouts. Rhys Hoskins, he went 1 for 4, but he struck out 3 times, so that's not good. Alec Boehm went 1 for 4. They put Bryce Harper back in the DH in the cleanup spot. I don't agree with that at all. Struck out 2 times, goes over 4. Batting average is now down to 290. So, yeah, he's sucking, to put it lightly. JT goes 1 for 4 with the lone run scored in this ball game. Gene Segura goes 1 for 3. Matt Vierling goes 1 for 2 with the sac fly. Bryson Stott goes 0 for 3. Guthrie goes 1 for 2 with a walk. He should have had 2 walks in this game. Phillies go over 6 with runners in scoring position, but the Braves also go over 6. Phillies leave 7 runners on base while the Braves left 9. Stott went over 2 with runners in scoring position. Bohm went over 2. Rhys went over 1. Harper went over 1, all with runners in scoring position. If you want to look at the Braves lineup, though, they only had 6 hits in this ballgame. Dansby Swanson, he struggled. He went 0 for 4. Also, there was a late change to the Braves lineup as well. They took Ronald Acuna out with back tightness, I believe. So that was a break. Who knows if Ronald Acuna was in the lineup today, something would be different. Contreras went 1 for 4. Austin Riley was the guy who couldn't get out. He went 3 for 3 in hit by pitch. Darno, he went 0 for 4. Olsen went 1 for 3. Grissom went 0 for 3 with a walk. Harris went 0 for 4. Ozuna went 1 for 4. Grossman went 0 for 4. So there you go. There you go. Phillies pitching managed to shut majority of the Braves lineup down besides Austin Riley. But if Austin Riley is the only one getting hits and majority of them are singles and you're leaving him stranded, I'll take that any day of the week. I definitely will. Definitely will every single time of the week. You know, the one thing I also didn't like is that the fact, like, I know with the entire Aaron Judge situation, it's amazing to watch Aaron Judge. Don't interrupt my ball game while I'm trying to watch the Phillies. I could watch it on my phone. I could see it on Twitter. Don't interrupt the Phillies broadcast just to show Aaron Judge's at bats. Because he walked 3 times in this ball game against the Red Sox. So came back to bite you in the ass, didn't you there, Fox? Seriously, like I don't want to downplay anything what Judge is doing because it's absolutely amazing going for the regular season home run record for the American League. Or the regular season home run total record for the American League. Probably should have worded that better, but you know what I mean. Don't interrupt my Phillies game to watch it. I want to see the Phillies bat. Broadcast was awful. The bat, like this here, AJ Pierzynski, my God, he was terrible. Terrible. Like, seriously, there was like so many things that he was talking about during the entire thing, like either jinxing something, stating the obvious, like trying to sucker up to the Philadelphia fans, like, oh, I love cheesesteaks. I love Krabby. Like, he said Krabby fries. Like, no one in Philadelphia calls it Krabby fries. Krabby fries? Are you serious? He says, oh, I love going to the Reading Market. It's not the Reading Market. It's Reading Terminal. Even though the full name was Reading Terminal Market, no one in Philadelphia calls it Reading Market. They call it the Reading Terminal. Like, seriously. This broadcast was so bad. It was so bad. Bad, bad, bad. Seeing a lot of guys saying the magic number is 10. I guess they're answering one of the questions in the live feed. I'll get to that later. But I'm trying to, just overall, your pitching was fantastic, but you have to look at tomorrow's game right now because tomorrow's an important one. Chance to split the series at best. Aaron Nola is going to be on the mound versus Jake Odorizzi, basically a rematch of last Saturday's game. So tonight's game was a rematch of last Friday's game in Atlanta. This time the Phillies came out with the win. Basically, honestly, you could say this game tonight was an exact replica of last Friday's, minus Ronald Acuna. Phillies came out on top in this one. Tomorrow, going to be the exact same matchup as it was last Friday. Aaron Nola goes 7, allows 4 runs. Phillies offense struggles against Jake Odorizzi. Does it flip-flop tomorrow as well? Let's see what happens. Then you got Bailey Falter on Saturday against Kyle Wright and Kyle Gibson on Sunday against Charlie Morton. I'll be at the games tomorrow and Saturday, so hopefully I provide some luck. I know I'm going to have a heart attack at least 20,000 times during both games, so we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens because this is the final 3 games of the season for at home, and then you finish off the season with 10 road games. 10 road games. Cubs, Nationals, Houston Astros. And this win was even more huge because the Brewers won tonight. And the Brewers, since they're playing a below 500 team in the Reds, cannot guarantee them to lose. Colton Wong hit 3 home runs in the game. He was like their lone source of offense, but still. Like Colton Wong in the game, yeah, he went 3 for 4, 5 RBIs, 3 home runs. Hunter Green was pitching for the Reds, but he only pitched 5 innings. He still struck out 8, though, but Colton Wong was their lone source of offense. So who knows what happens there? Brewers, like I said, the rest of their schedule is very easy going down the stretch. They got 3 more games against the Reds. They got 2 games against the Cardinals. And they do have 4 games against the Miami Marlins. So the Marlins, they can always be like a spoiler type of team with their pitching. So you never know what happens in that situation. And the Diamondbacks have been known to play spoilers. So they have an easy schedule on paper, but you never know what happens with the teams that they're going to be facing. Not Cincinnati, though. You can't guarantee Cincinnati with anything. The Cardinals, though, that's going to be a tough series for them. Marlins, that might be a tough series just because of the Marlins pitching. And then the Diamondbacks, just because they tend to go on hot streaks and be spoiler this year. The Padres also lost, though, so you gained some ground on them in the wild card standings as well. They lost to the Cardinals, so now you are a half game behind the Padres for the second wild card spot. 2.5 games above the Brewers. You still got 3 less losses than them, which is basically the most important thing. So basically you have a 3-game lead on them in that situation. And then plus, the tiebreaker. So looking at that specifically, yeah. Basically, that's the most important thing in that situation. Honestly, Pujols almost had 699 today. I was watching that game this afternoon, and I was like, damn, Pujols hit it right to the warning track. Judge actually almost hit a home run today as well in the 9th inning, I believe. It went right to the warning track in center field too. So both of those guys almost missed their versions of history tonight. So that kind of sucks, but overall, good win, but the offense still needs to be 10 times better. Offense still needs to be better. You cannot get shut down by Odorizzi tomorrow again. You just cannot. Cannot get shut down by Odorizzi. Actually, I want to see Odorizzi's road and home splits. Is he a different pitcher in his home ballpark versus the road? I want to see that. Overall, his splits. Let's see. And let's see. This season, yes, he is a worse road pitcher than home. He's also a worse pitcher in night ball games, even though last week was a night ball game and he pitched fairly well. But this year at home, he has a 3.99 ERA. On the road, he's a 4.07. He's 3-3 on the road, 2-2 at home. Night games, he has a 4.42 ERA, 3-4 in night games, 2-1 in day games. Maybe that'll be better, hopefully. He still has an above 5 ERA in September this year. So the Phillies were his best start, technically. So hopefully that changes. And he, that was an outlier game. Let's see. Anything else here in regards to this game? I don't think so. Overall, it's basically just what I said. Pitching was elite. Offense still needs to be way better. Bryce Harper is sucking badly. Pitching was elite. And Alec Bohm made some nice plays in the infield, too. He robbed Grissom of a hit. So that was nice. It was funny, too, when Alvarado came in, he only needed 1 pitch to retire Olsen. And Alvarado was hustling all the might that he could for that foul ball, and he was 20 feet away from it. He thought it was going to the fence by the dugout, and then it ends up in Alec Bohm's glove 20 feet away. So that was some kind of funny things there. But still, huge win. And the one thing for Zach Eflin, though, because Zach Eflin was very good. Very good. I can't undetermine how good Zach Eflin was. His only mistake was a hit by pitch to Austin Riley, and I don't even think that pitch hit him. Honestly, I just don't. That's how good Zach Eflin was today. If Zach Eflin can be that out of the bullpen, you have something nice in there, especially for the back end. Even though I don't think Zach Eflin's more of a back end pitcher, but you never know. It's still a good addition to the bullpen if Zach Eflin can pitch like that consistently out of it. It'll be a very nice addition. But still, the umpiring crew. I can't get over it. I can't get over the umpires either. How are you that bad at your job? How are you that bad? That strike call, to Gris to Guthrie. Seriously, Alec Bohm had a couple of check swings tonight, I believe, that were called strikes, and I'm like, what, bro? His bat is not even crossing the plate of the plate. How is that a swing? How is that a swing? You can't make this shit up. I'm not watching a baseball game to watch you 4 douches. I'm not. I'm watching to see the players on the field battle for playoffs. No, I'm watching umpires steal the goddamn show. Jesus. It was that bad. It was that bad. No, Angel Hernandez was not umpiring, Dr. Drew. It was, oh, man, I gotta go back to this guy's name again. Let me find it. I said it earlier and I already forget the goddamn name. That's how irrelevant this guy's name is. Where is it? Andy Fletcher. Andy Fletcher was the umpire in tonight's game. What else? Who else? What do you got? Andy Fletcher, Gabe Morales. So yeah, those guys sucked. I can't take you seriously there, MP. I can't take you seriously there. You're seriously going to say that call at Guthrie was a strike? A strike? That was a ball. Yay low. The Rhys Hoskins one, you can make an argument for that. You can. But not the Guthrie one. No one can make an argument for the Guthrie strike. Oh my god. There's just so many things that this umpiring group is just so everything about this game, like the broadcast, the umpiring. My god. Yeah, the Grossman strike wasn't a strike either. So yeah, I'll give you that. I'm not going to defend. If it helps my way, I'm not going to defend it. I'm not going to defend it. It wasn't a strike, but okay, call it a strike. But still, yeah, it's a bad call. It's a bad call that went in the Phillies' favor. I'm going to argue against things that don't go in the Phillies' favor, and I'm going to argue against things that don't go in the Phillies' favor. Like that's how a Philadelphia fan works. Oh my god! Like, yeah, he sucked on both sides. Yes, yes, I agree with that. He sucked on both sides. Julian says pitching elite, offense is so bad, leaving tons of men on base again. And yes, Bryce is really slumping, hitting 180 since his return. Oh my god, I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad. Thank you for bringing Alvarado out the pinch to 9th. Yeah, thank God. Before MC gets here and gets all uppity, I will say thank you, Phillies. Yeah, I know some of the Mets fans are in the chat right now saying thank you, Phils, for beating the Braves. You're welcome. You're welcome. They need to win this series because the Brewers' schedule is really easy besides St. Louis for 2. I wouldn't doubt the Marlins, but at the end of the day, they are the Miami Marlins. They have no offense. Their pitching, though, could be a problem for the Brewers since the Brewers barely have an offense either. Mr. W is stoked. 8 Anton says, thank you for the Phillies win. Is Nola actually going to show up tomorrow? I don't mean 4 runs and 7 like last time. I mean shut them down. If the offense can't score on Ozark, then I don't know. 12 runs scored in the last 6 games versus the Braves. Yeah, the offense needs to show back. Hope Acuna's back is tight all weekend. Honestly, I said that in my head too. Question: what is it going to take for us to clinch a playoff spot with the wild card? How many more games does it take to get it done? Like everyone's saying right here in the live feed, magic number is now 10 for the Phillies, and the magic number goes down every time the Brewers lose. And does it still go down every time the Padres lose? I'm assuming since the Padres are ahead of us, it doesn't count. So, like if the Padres lost, it would have been 9. But since the Padres are ahead of us technically in the standings, it doesn't count. So right now, the only team that affects it are the Brewers. Yeah, Brewers losses plus Phillies wins. Would have been amazing if he broke out an ECW chant. Who are you talking about there, Dr. Drew? An ECW chant. Love the fact that threw over 100 pitches. Yeah, the bats did get 3'd out of the ball game early. Like they were, taking bats. They were taking pitches and they were working the counts. But the bats need to get hits. They gotta be better. Need to get the magic number down to 7 or 8 somehow after this weekend. That could be a possibility. I think right now the most priority is to split this series. At most, you cannot demand. You can't say you need to win 3 because the Braves are just that good. Split, I'll be fine with. It's hilarious seeing Mets fans giving us praise. Do you think if we have the same team next year to start the season, we could win the division? No. They definitely need more additions. There's a lot of flaws to this team. Defensively, offense is inconsistent. Pitching is inconsistent. They still need a lot of things. They're a good team, but they're a good team with flaws. That's what makes them a difference between them and the Braves, the Mets, and all that stuff. That's why there's such a discrepancy. The Phillies are a team fighting for a wild card spot, while the Braves and the Mets are fighting for division spots and possibly for those teams to chance to go to the World Series. Playoffs, anything could happen, but I bet more on the Braves and the Mets going to the World Series than the Phillies. Just my opinion. Mr. W, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Is there anybody coming up from the minor leagues before the season ends and the playoffs start? I don't think so. I think the roster spot's currently filled right now. They could call up Derek Hall possibly, but I'm not sure if they're going to make any more moves just in the case that someone gets injured. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in that situation. Like if Castellanos does come back, I would think they have to send someone down. I'm not sure who you send down because it shouldn't be Guffrey. Guffrey's been amazing. Guffrey in his time since being called up. Very short sample size, though. He's played a good amount of games, though. He's been really good. Where's that? I found that tweet earlier. Here we go. This is from Anthony Sanfilippo. Since getting called up, Dalton Guffrey has had 17 plate appearances for the Phillies, and he has reached base safely 11 times. He's slashing a .538 average, a .647 on base percentage, and a 750 slugging percentage with a 1397 OPS. He's been that good. He's getting on base. So it's kind of hard to make a argument to send him down after everything. And here's also a stat from Corey Seidman on Jose Alvarado. Alvarado has allowed a run in just 3 of his last 36 appearances. He has struck out 53, walked only 10, and hasn't hit a batter. His opponents have a .225 on base percentage over the 3-month span. Like seriously, like you even talk about the wraparound of Jose Alvarado ever since he sucked in the beginning of the year, and then he got sent down, and ever since he got called back up, he's been a completely different pitcher. Added that cutter, he's locating better. He looks more aggressive. He has a fuck you attitude. He wants the ball. He's a completely different pitcher. Completely different. Like seriously, that's one of the things you can even say for the Phillies turnaround is how good Jose Alvarado has been out of the bullpen. He's probably been your most consistent guy since coming back from AAA in this entire stretch. Like he's been that good. He's been that good. Dr. Drew says he is telling us that the Braves are not good on the road against good teams. Hopefully that continues. What I think minor league baseball needs to get some respect, just like the Major League Baseball does, I think it would be fair without minor league players, you wouldn't have no Major League Baseball. Was Angel Hernandez umpiring? What else? All that matters is that we make the playoffs. Exactly. When was the last time the Phillies made the playoffs? 2011. Over 10 years ago. You should go off on Schwarber. You should go off like Schwarber did on Angel did earlier in the year. 4-game lead with 10 to go. Better not be an under 1964. I wouldn't know that, sadly. AJ is pandering. What else? Munoz can go, Munoz could probably get it sent down. Marsh seems to be injury prone, which isn't good moving forward. Hopefully that's something that could be settled over. Oh God. The chat's going off on their own little thing right here, so I'm gonna ignore that little sentiment. But yeah, overall it's been a good win. That's basically it. Can't complain. Even though I can complain about the offense, I want the offense to be 20 times better than what they have been over the past stretch. If the Phillies make the playoffs with a wild card, do you think the bullpen has enough power and the players have enough power to get to the World Series, win the whole thing? Like, I am a firm believer that anything can happen in the playoffs. All you have to do is get hot in any type of sport. But there's a difference, I believe, in like the hierarchies in Major League Baseball, because I do think you need, consistent things. It's just right now, I'd prefer to win a round before than guaranteeing World Series or anything like that. My goal is to win a round, possibly, if that's the case, if they can do it. Like, this team could be built to win a wild card series with, everything there. But the bullpen did go through a very good stretch from June and July when the Phillies started playing a lot better. But the bullpen has not been good in this month of September. Can they get hot again? There's a chance it could, but World Series, I'm not going that far. Not going that far at all. Just make the playoffs, end the drought, and see if you can win a wild card round. That's all you got to do right here. That's my expectation. If you can win a wild card round, I would say that's a successful series. Yeah, let's just win a first round. That's basically it. If we make the playoffs, at least Bryce should be hitting by then. Hopefully. I hopefully. And now MP and Dr. Drew are going to be going at it in the chat. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Dr. Drew and NP going at it. Oh, boy. Playoffs. We're talking playoffs. That is a classic line. Classic line. Falter versus DeGrom. That is the matchup I want. That is the matchup I want. Falter versus Jacob DeGrom. That's what I want. Bailey Falter is our ace. I've been saying that for the past couple of weeks. Bailey Falters is our ace. The reason I talk like this, but the whole thing is we have to remember when the Eagles made the playoffs with Nick Foles, they won the whole thing with a backup quarterback. Well, I think in that situation, yeah, there were underdogs, but they were still like a 13-3 team. They had a really good team built around Nick Foles, but Nick Foles was also on another level during that entire playoff run. I think like everything for that Eagles team went right for them. Like everything that could go right went right. Like they beat the Patriots when Tom Brady had probably one of the best Super Bowl performances out of a quarterback in any Super Bowl game ever. They still found a way to win. But like, yeah, I'm still a firm believer anything could happen in the playoffs when you get to them. I'm a believer that in football, baseball, hockey, not so much basketball because it definitely is a top-heavy league. Like if you're like in the 5th to 8th seed, you're probably not making it past the first or second round. Mainly those, the second, third rounds in the championship are made for teams that are like ranked maybe like 1 through 4 mostly. So, not the biggest believer in that in the NBA, but in other sports, I am definitely a believer that anything could happen when you get to the playoffs. The Philadelphia Union are in the playoffs, might win the division. I don't watch the Union not that much into soccer. It's just not my forte. It just isn't. So, but still good for them. Like I know they've been a really good team. So that's good for them if they find a way to win a championship. It's just soccer isn't my forte. Like I just don't find enjoyment out of it. My personal opinion. It's funny. I got the other TV on with the Thursday Night Football Browns versus Steelers. And it looks like the Browns are going to win this game. It looks like the Steelers might be attempting the onside kick with the final thing here. So are they going to be doing the onside kick right now? It looks like they're taking their goddamn time to do it. Are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Most likely, but is it going to be successful? That's the entire question. That's the question there. Onside kick. Oh my God! Did they recover? Did it go out of bounds? It went out of bounds. What is the Philadelphia Phillies minor league team in the playoffs? Are any of the Phillies minor league teams in the playoffs? I have no idea, honestly. I'll look that up. Look that up. MILB. Variety standings. I'm assuming this is AAA. Where is Reading? Reading 74 and 69. Is that a chance for them to get to the playoffs? I'm not entirely sure. Lehigh Valley's, Reading's not there. It doesn't look like those teams are going to be. I think they're fighting for it, but I'm not sure if they're going to make the playoffs or not. It doesn't look like it with their record. Because the other teams that are ahead of them, 74-68, 77-66, 79 and 64. Like there is a chance that they go on a stretch here. It also says their elimination number is 1. So if they they could get eliminated very soon. So I think that's it right there. Yeah, I don't think any Philadelphia minor league team is making the playoffs. There. So yeah, I think that's where we stand right now. Phillies got a win, huge win, 1-0 shutout over the Atlanta Braves. Pitching was dominant. Ranger Suarez was great. Zack Eflin was great. Jose Alvarado was great. JT Realmuto running the bases was great. Matt Vierling was great. Offense needs to be better, especially with runners in scoring position. Bryce Harper needs to be better. Yeah, the 10-game road trip is a joke, MB. I do agree with that. It definitely is a joke. So, yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave it off, everyone. I thank you for joining tonight's stream as always. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to see those as always. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. Do not forget to check out everything in the description down below. BrodesMedia, Painted Lions, I recommend all of that. Same thing with hitting the subscribe button. It is a great thing to press. Join the TTP Sports family. Let's make the channel grow even further. Also use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Use it for anything you could think of, events, sporting events, concerts, anything you could think of. It's a great deal. Don't pass that up. Use that code TTP Sports. $20 off first purchase at SeatGeek. So, thank you everyone once again for joining tonight's stream, and I'll see you next time.